Hello everybody, I am Joey from the Chart Guys. I've been grinding this game for 7 years, over 20,000 hours with intent, and I'm here to talk about some charts as we've got some after hours activity on the Microsoft and Google earnings, both seeing bull reactions and changing the SPY daily chart that we are looking at right now. So to get into some things, we can pop over to our futures chart real quickly and see what's going on after hours. And we've got the S&P 500 breaking the high of yesterday, confirming a quick daily uptrend and increasing the odds that our weekly bounce is underway. We'll either need to see a massive day tomorrow and get through the high of last week, 52.13, if we're going to say weekly bounce is underway this week. More likely would be breaking the high of this week next week. And then we can't forget that a weekly lower high compared to all-time highs would not be shocking. So to go back to the S&P 500, we'll look at the daily. And of course, we'll have to see how these earnings reactions stick. Conference calls can always throw things off, but Google with $70 billion in buyback, that's pretty bullish stuff at this point. So we're going to go with the assumption that we're getting a daily uptrend from here because that is what is happening after hours. But of course, S&P 500 bulls will need to ensure that they break 507.37 during regular trading hours tomorrow. And that's not the only thing that they'll need to ensure from here. They're going to need to ensure that we get an hourly uptrend as a result of the next consolidation. Big old move up here today, but it's straight off the low on the hourly. So we'll have a ton of room for an hourly higher low compared to the low of today, 497.49. And that's going to be the same thing on many, many names. Got to confirm hourly uptrends. We obviously had the gap down from the Meta earnings yesterday, and everybody just bought up the dip, little flush in the morning, and it was all bulls from there. So big moves are nice, but you've got to get your trend change to believe the follow through on that. And if we get that hourly trend change, if we get through 507.37, then we'll have a daily uptrend, and that will be our guide for the weekly shift in momentum. And as of now, 497.49 is our key support there. So moving on to QQQ, very similar deal, gap down on the Meta earnings. And it's worth noting too that this pullback was more than what bulls wanted to see beyond the 0.5 retrace. But we had nice increasing bull volume, and we know that if we're going to get the less likely scenario of going right to higher highs versus tightening up on the daily, that it will likely be accompanied by increasing volume. So if we look at NQ futures, we can see we are up through the high of Wednesday after hours here. And to go back to QQQ now, it's going to be the same deal as SPY. Lots of room for an hourly higher low compared to the low of today, 418.14. And got to confirm an hourly uptrend to be confident in follow through, then the daily uptrend, if confirmed tomorrow, will be our guide for the weekly move. And same as SPY, got to look out for a weekly lower high compared to 449.34, as that is the most likely scenario. If that were to not happen and we were to just V-shape to new all-time highs, we'll maintain the daily uptrend throughout. So we don't have to make the prediction and sink into our bias now. We get new information every day. We have smaller time frames to show us what's going on under the hood, and that can be our guide. So if we look at this chart, and if we're just going to go to all-time highs, it'll just be a daily uptrend that continues up like that. If we confirm this daily uptrend, maybe see another higher high without follow through, and then pull back deep enough to create room for a daily lower high, that's when odds increase that a weekly lower high is shaping on up. So let's look at IWM. So very similar deal. Daily lower high set at 199.32, flush down on the morning, dip buying from bulls. Got to get through that 199.32 to confirm a daily uptrend and get a weekly bounce underway where we'll be looking for a weekly lower high compared to 211.88. Zooming into the hourly, same deal, nice hourly bounce, but have to confirm an hourly uptrend from here. So need to hold 193.77 and then break the high of today if we want to get an hourly uptrend, get a daily higher low set, and then it will be all about 199.32. So XLF Yesterday was looking like a daily bull flag, certainly here, but inability to confirm the hourly uptrend, and then daily consolidation continued deeper. So certainly still very healthy on daily consolidation. And as far as our major indices and sectors go, it is still among the strongest here for us. So we'll see if bulls can give it another crack tomorrow. Nice hourly bounce. Got to confirm an hourly uptrend tomorrow by holding the low of the day, 40.53, and breaking the, we'll just say the high of the day, 41.03. Got a little hourly lower high resistance from the end of day here at 41 clean, and got to clear both of those levels, get a daily higher low set, and then we'll see if bulls can confirm a daily uptrend to give us confidence in weekly bounce follow through. We know that of our major sectors, XLF is holding on the best on the weekly, clinging to its weekly 12 EMA. So XLV daily inside bar bear break today. And now the big question is, can bulls hold 139.25 and go back up and break 141.56 to confirm a daily uptrend, get a weekly bounce underway more confidently? It is technically underway with the break at the high of last week, but you need your smaller nested time frame to get its trend change for us to have full confidence in that. And then we'll certainly be looking for a weekly lower high compared to 148.23. We know we're looking for a monthly higher low, and we're nearing the monthly 12 EMA. So if bulls confirm a daily uptrend from here, it will shift the needle a little bit closer to perhaps a monthly higher low is shaping up. But that would just be the first little step. Ultimately, you need to regain a weekly uptrend if you want your monthly higher low to shape on up. So not doing great at shaping up the daily higher low here. Weaker hourly bounce here today, and then hourly bear flag confirmed into the end of the day, though it does not have any follow through at this point. So we'll just watch our hourly downtrend as our guide. Bulls got to regain an hourly uptrend to get a daily higher low set. So SMH broke the low of yesterday, getting our daily lower high set here at 213.14, and then without even needing these earnings reactions from the tech sector, we broke right through that resistance. So for me, I'm not going to call that a quick little daily uptrend. I don't generally designate pivots on outside bars, but what we can say is that bulls have full control of the bounce as long as 205.75 is support. So similar to SPY and QQQ, nice move up. Actually, I guess we didn't really get much after hours on this. NVDA is seeing a nice move up. SMH is not, and that's because INTC had bad earnings and is continuing to bog down. So as a result, SMH is kind of just chilling right now, But back to what we were saying, need the hourly uptrend tomorrow. So anything over 205.27, going to be an hourly higher low, next consolidation. And for all of these names looking for hourly higher lows, we'll be able to get information from one, how deep is that retrace? Is it healthy? Does it keep odds favorable for confirming the uptrend? But two, we can watch 5-minute oversold conditions. If 5-minute oversold conditions mark that hourly higher low, that's what bulls want to see as the strongest look for hourly consolidation. So looking at XBI, still just a stinker. Daily 12 EMA, daily downtrend, daily bear flag confirmed here today, but without much follow through. If we get a daily bounce underway tomorrow, maybe that would be the first sign of a shift in momentum. But for now, it remains one of our weakest sectors out there. The VIX confirming a daily downtrend. Again, it's on an outside bar. Don't really like designating pivots on outside bars, but we'll work with what we got, and we can say that VIX bears are in full control as long as high of today, 1755, is resistant. So we're not going to get caught off guard by a weekly higher low. We know it's the most likely scenario, but with anything over 1240 being one, there's a lot of room for that to form. Market bulls want the VIX to continue to collapse, obviously, but the next key spot here is this weekly 12 EMA that is coming into play. Let's see, let's just keep going down the line. So we're looking at gold here right now, looking for a weekly higher low, and not a lot of clarity on the smaller time frames here. We know we're coming out of our 4-hour back burner, and we keep breaking resistance without follow through and ultimately shaping up a bit of a megaphone here. So as far as clarity, I'm working with the 12-hour right now. We got a little dinky 12-hour uptrend, and then I'm liking the 2-day as bulls try to bounce from this EMA. So if bulls can get a 2-day bounce underway, we'll be looking for a 2-day lower high compared to all-time highs, and then be looking for a 2-day uptrend to try to shape up the weekly higher low. And that's subject to change. When you have a lack of clarity, you want to find some clarity somewhere. You don't want to pretend you have clarity when you don't, and then you don't want to stick with something because at one point it was the most clear, and then when you regain clarity elsewhere, not switch back to that. So you got to stay nimble, and the whole point of the different time frames is so that we can get perspective and clarity. And right now, 2-day and 12-hour is where the clarity is for gold. So we can say that 2304.6 bulls certainly want that to be the weekly higher low. Going back to the weekly chart here, in the strongest uptrends, 4-hour oversolds marking your weekly higher low, and that's what bulls want to see. So silver, very similar here, a little bit deeper on weekly consolidation. We know it entered weekly consolidation first, and similarly kind of just chopping around. Got a little 12-hour uptrend, not a lot of follow through, and 2-day 12 EMA, a nice guide here. And we will be looking for a 2-day lower high compared to 29.90.5. So looking at oil, we know we have got bulls trying to form a weekly higher low off of the 12 EMA and another outside bar here. So not the most clarity, but you could say that's a dinky little daily uptrend if you do designate pivots on outside bars. I don't personally, so let's once again go out to the 2-day and say we're looking for a 2-day lower high compared to 87.67. We've got the high of that Thursday night wick from a week ago as next resistance, 85.64, and maybe 12-hour here as well. Actually, yeah, I like that. Nice 12-hour uptrend. We won't call that a dinky daily uptrend. We'll work with the 12-hour and look to see if bulls can shape up that weekly higher low. If they can, they're chilling, but we're not going to lose perspective that a monthly lower high compared to 95.03 is the most likely scenario, barring increasing bull volume. We have 5 days left in the month, and we do have a little bit of increasing bull volume here for the moment. So let's go through some individual names. NVDA is trying to confirm a daily uptrend, get a weekly bounce underway, and then the big question would be, do we get a lower high compared to all-time highs, 974, or can bulls V-shape it? The daily trend will be our guide for that. So after hours here, we are testing daily resistance and need to confirm an hourly uptrend. So bulls will be looking for an hourly higher low compared to the low of today tomorrow. SMCI, pretty similar deal here, trying for a daily uptrend. We do have earnings next Tuesday, so that is something to be aware of. We know we're looking for a monthly higher low. We know we've been in a monthly uptrend for ages. Got to regain a weekly uptrend if that's going to shape up. And step one of regaining a weekly uptrend is getting a daily uptrend to get a weekly bounce underway. So we will have to watch daily 12 EMA next time that comes into play for potential resistance. And low of today going to be key support moving forward, 721.12. Got Tesla seeing continued upside after its earnings reaction on Tuesday, and we are coming into some resistance here. We have got the next main one as 179.22, and really what we need to see from bulls is a daily uptrend confirmed. So bulls like to continue to push here, but you got to get your daily uptrend if we're going to believe it. But for now, bulls trudge along upwards, and we've got an hourly uptrend. Little hourly higher low support here at 162.75. I care more about low of day 158 as bulls defended low of yesterday and continued to push to new highs. So let's see, we've got 3-day 12 EMA has been acting as resistance here for a good while, and we're pushing up and over. So still got some time left on the candle, but bulls like to see that. And they also like to see the Tesla QQQ ratio leading the way here. We had 2-day 12 EMA resistance there. We're clear up and over it and trying to get through these resistances. So this was that resistance that I pointed out on Tesla itself that we're testing right now on the ratio chart. So that is bullish divergence with the ratio chart, which bulls like to see. And you can get clues from these ratio charts. Tesla didn't break to a new high of day until the end of the day, but Tesla QQQ broke to a new high of day much earlier, and that increased the odds that Tesla was going to follow there. So let's take a peek in at let's do Google, because we're at blue skies. You know, I know a lot of bears, as is the case every bout of monthly consolidation, every bout of weekly consolidation. It feels like, oh, maybe the sky is ready to fall now. But one of the biggest names in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ is rocketing through blue skies now on these earnings reactions. And you know, even when the S&P 500 and QQQ was consolidating on the monthly, which we still are, of course, Google just barely broke the weekly stair step. It's not very fearful there. And let's take a peek at Microsoft. So Microsoft lost weekly support with a lack of follow through. And let's go to our 24-hour chart to view this a little bit better. And now rocketing back up, nearing all-time high. So lots of room for hourly higher lows tomorrow on both of those names. We'll see what the conference calls do this evening. Let's look at MSOS. I know everybody wants this to be bullish, but we've got to just respect what we've got going on here now. We are trying to break bear out of this weekly rising wedge while we are looking for a quarterly lower high. If we end up losing the weekly uptrend from here, that will increase the odds that a quarterly lower high is shaping on up. If we continue to pull back further, say to, if we crack 8 from here, then we'll have to watch out for a weekly head and shoulders. And on a big green market day, this is red, closing at low of day. So it just is what it is. The bull hope from here would be a daily falling wedge. So let's slap that on there. So lower lows not getting follow through. Is this lower low going to lack follow through? It's yet to be seen. Tomorrow will give us that answer. And if we do see a green day tomorrow, then this falling wedge is a top watch as we look for a weekly higher low compared to 730. So barring any news, bulls are struggling right now. Bulls that aren't struggling are the Canadian MJ bulls. So CGC bounce leader off of the low, stair step down, stair step up, and it is looking like it's fixing to crack here tomorrow. We had a double bottom at 863, 864, and if we lose 864 tomorrow, that'll be daily consolidation underway, and then the burden of proof will be on bulls to confirm a daily uptrend. We know we've got a weekly higher low set with the break of the high of the last week, but you need your smaller nested time frame to get its trend change. So this is notable here that we have our weekly EMAs crossing bullish, and we've got a weekly higher low set off of them. If we zoom out, we can see these EMAs and the direction they've been crossed have been pretty good signals historically, and bulls are hoping that this can be the beginning of a bigger picture momentum shift. So ACB weekly higher low is also set. Weekly EMAs are also cross bullish for the first time in ages, and we do actually have a daily uptrend here. We have a daily uptrend here, and we're a good bit weaker than CGC. So if this daily uptrend is lost, that would be a weekly lower high shaping up, and bulls do not want to see a weekly downtrend confirm and take out these freshly crossed EMAs. That would just be a monthly lower high shaping up off the 12 EMA, which it's been acting as resistance for ages here at this point. So burden of proof is on bulls, bigger picture. Burden of proof is on bears in the shorter term. And let's look at some crypto-related names. So Bitcoin trying to shape up a daily higher low. We know weekly 12 EMA is our guide. Bigger picture here. Weekly higher low is set. Technically not a higher low because we broke support, but weekly bounce is underway with the break of the high of last week. But as is the theme of this video, we need to get the smaller nested time frame trend change. So bulls trying to shape up that daily higher low now, going to need a 4-hour trend change from here to get the daily higher low set. And then all eyes are on 67,272 to see if bulls can get that daily uptrend or if we continue to tighten on up here. So with that, we had very solid dip buying in the crypto miner space. So daily stair step broke, and on the gap down, and bulls snapped up the dip on Mara. Lots of room for an hourly higher low compared to low of today. You got a little afternoon hourly higher low at 1870, but I care more about the low of today. And if bulls can break the high of today tomorrow, which actually it looks like we're up after hours here doing that, getting through the high of today. So that would have our daily higher low set, and then we'd be looking at 2004. See if bulls can confirm the daily uptrend, give us a little more confidence in weekly bounce follow through, though not going to lose track that a lower high compared to 2465 would be the most likely scenario. If bulls bounce up some more here, we could be looking at a weekly inverse head and shoulders to try to shape up a quarterly higher low here. So that's Mara. Riot, very similar deal. Looking at the daily, gap down, snapped up, break the high of today tomorrow. Then we have a daily higher low set at 1088, and all eyes are on 1265 to see if bulls can get the daily uptrend and see some follow through. Definitely got a zone of resistance here that bulls will need to get through around 13 or thereabouts. Got earnings coming up not too far from now, the 1st of May, Wednesday. And CLSK, similar deal here. We know it, bigger picture, it's our strongest miner, and gap down, bulls snapping up the dip. Got to regain an hourly uptrend tomorrow if we want to confidently get a daily higher low set, and then we'll see if bulls can regain the daily uptrend. I believe that's that. We can take a quick look through big tech. So Amazon doesn't report until next week. Had the big old gap down on Meta earnings and bought the dip up pretty aggressively here today, and is seeing quite a decent sympathy move in the scheme of things, along with Microsoft and Google. I think that's that. That is all I've got here today. I will attach a clip at the end of, what will I do? Maybe I'll do a what do you call it? A campfire time lapse from when Dan and I went camping a couple weeks ago for the eclipse. I'll attach that to the end. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and let's see what we get tomorrow during regular trading hours. It looks like we've got Microsoft and Google continuing to hold on to their gains at this point. Hourly uptrends needed everywhere to be confident and follow through. Have a good night, and I will see you next time.